back to Acer's TeamStory Cup and to our next match, which will be Adelscott against somebody. Courant still has Vortex, they still have Soka, and they still have the ability to revive anybody. So
you know,
Lucy
Soka and Ado actually have like quite a PvP history with each other. They've played against each other a couple of times, and I think I remember a series back at, it was one of the Finnish tournaments, one of the very first assemblies, the one that Red won in the final against Moro, the CVC, and I believe back then the third and fourth place decided was between Ado and Zoka. So it would be funny to see those two run into each other, because I think back then either Zoka had a 2-0 lead and I want to look that up right now. I know one of the two guys had a 2-0 lead, but then eventually still lost 3-2. Let me try to solve this mystery, Ben, while you tell a little story. Because now I want to know. If I have to guess, I think it was Adelscott who was up 2-0, but still like lost 3-2 against Zoka.
Been the one that brings it. That sounds like a very Yakamo story.
Let me try to figure this one out. Or I'm completely wrong. That would be something. Oh well, back then. Steel Series Starcraft II challenge. Oh no, it was Adelscott who won against Zoka. And Zoka was 3-2, so I guess Zoka was up. Can I see the details of the match? No. That's a long time ago. That was 2011 assembly, Winter Assembly, the one that Red won. It was a funny little tournament. It was also like the biggest success that Moro ever had as a Zerg player. Because he made
that's right.
He made it to the final in that tournament, but that's the only time.
And fortunate for Idra, he did not win.
Yes. So what did Idra say? He would switch to Terran?
He swore he would quit pro gaming if Moro ever won a tournament as Zerg. So.
Vortex has joined the game, man, so I think it's time for Vortex against Adelscott. That should be really fun. I'm so curious to see how Vortex is going to play ZVP in Heart of the Swarm, as I haven't really seen all that much from him. The map he chose is Neoplanet S. Not surprised there. I think that map is reasonably good for Zerg.
Yep, lots of opportunities for flanking, very hard, as you've already pointed out, for Protoss to take a third base. Adel is not a guy who is characterized by his fast third base play, though. He's usually highly aggressive, so I don't know if the difficulty of securing that third is going to work against him so much here in this situation.
Once more, guys, if you're watching right now, 4 hours from now on, I'm going to do a little PvT show with Fuser. Fuser, of course, the Finnish Terran who's currently living with us here in Rancho Cucamonga, California. He's rank 1 Grandmaster League NA right now, so I'm going to bring him out on the set. And we're just going to chit-chat a little bit about PvT. I'm going to go over 2 replays with him. I'm going to show him my own build, and at the end of the show, we're going to play a little game against each other as well. Fuser's going to have a lot of fun, because he loves to talk about how amazing he is and how often he would beat me if he would actually play. So that will come up in 4 hours from now on. It's 2 p.m. right now. We'll do that at 6 p.m. Vortex said he needs a second, or said he needs a second. But he seems to be ready right now. Adelscott, I think, is one of those guys who's just born ready. Taking a look at anything, see if Adelscott has done anything recently in Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, we don't hear as much from Adel as we used to.
Nope, as I said, at World Cyber Games, he got $10,000 for being the runner-up of WCG. That's a really nice win. I mean, if you look at the rest, that's probably like more than he has ever won in prize money combined. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all, man.
I've never won 10K in one tournament, that's for sure.
Neither have I.
The sixth game already. The score is currently 3-2 in favor of Caronti. Next up is Adelscott against Vortex. Can Vortex bring Caronti to match point? Or will A will even things up?
We will see, as the game is now live. This is Neoplanet S.
This is Neoplanet S,
man. It looked funny from this angle. Kind of darker.
You know, what I noticed when I play this map, often I don't scout the middle of the map for like a good 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's like, oh my god, he has double gold base. It's just like, it seems so unusual to ever expand there. Like, who would do that? So like my entire 200 Colossus army just walks here, and then I walk around, and so they see all these units just streaming in from everywhere. I was like, I wonder. And then like for one time you send over something in the middle of the map, it's like, oh my god. That's a lot of money. Did you ever end up in a situation where you had the gold bases, man?
I have never expanded to the gold bases on this map, but now that you say it, I think I'm going to try Ghost of User's 4-hatch build. Double gold base. Sounds pretty good. Kind of like Ukraine Star.
Yeah, you know, then like the new metagame is going to be like just proxy 2-gate. Like proxy pylon here and build 2 gates and just rally in zealots out the middle of the map.
I think that would be pretty good against 4-hatch before spawning pool.
I don't know, actually. I mean, even if you kill 2 hatcheries, you might still lose. Because eventually Zerg can stabilize. I think proxy gate is really bad unless you like kill the spawning pool and drones immediately.
I'm eager to see what Vortex pulls out here. He was a very strong Zerg player at the end of Wings of Liberty, and that should carry over pretty quickly to Heart of the Swarm. He was a guy that benefited a lot from the Broodlord Infestor strength, and that's something that's not quite as dominant in Heart of the Swarm as it was once before, so perhaps he's had to relearn some of the game.
But he has that Moreno blood in him, man. It's a pretty talented RTS family. I'd be really proud, man, if I was the father of Lucy and Vortex. Like, both of my children are so extremely good in RTS. Both of them have won like over $30,000, I think, in Starcraft II, or at least over 20.
That's pretty sick.
That's really impressive.
Yeah. Both bringing home money from the Battle.net World Championships.
Yep.
Actually eliminating each other, right? Is that how that worked?
Yes. Lucifron finished third in the European Championships, and Vortex finished second, lost in the final against Stefano. Did win the first best of 3, lost the second one.
Interesting opening here for Adel, opting for the in-base gateway, which is not something that we have seen, well, not today at least.
I've been opening like this all the time, Ben. I really feel that this might actually be the future of PvZ once more. I do understand what Vortex was talking about, by the way. Now we do see him pause the game as well, as yeah, we are noticing those little lag spikes as well. I guess that is just what happens, man, when there are like 12 casters in the game. It's awesome when you broadcast the game in each and every single possible language, including Hebrew.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. It would be pretty awesome to cast a game in Hebrew, no?
Well, hopefully,
sure.
Hopefully that clears up pretty fast, as we're just going to take a moment, make sure that they sort out any issues that there are. You need to do the crocky tooth, man. Oh, no, they're already back.
It's easy. Oh, still.
GG.
This is how I've been opening lately as well. Even though I like to take my Nexus before my second gas, well, they're going to pause the game once more. Even though Rio has left. For the people who wonder who is K3 Rio, it's actually the older brother of both Vortex and Lucifron. He's kind of
third Moreno.
Yeah, he's kind of like the tour guy that events, making sure that they're both okay. Because when they started out pro gaming, both of them were very young. So perhaps their parents were a little bit worried about it. And well, as long as you have big brother Rio with you, you'll be fine. And it kind of turned into a tradition. Perhaps he kind of turned into a lucky charm as well, man. Because after all, Lucifron has done really good with Rio on his side. And later on Vortex too. Both of them were former Wacky 3 players, for the people who are interested in that. Lucifron super successful later on. Vortex was okay, not great, not awful, but nothing special. Lucifron was an absolute world-class Wacky 3 player, and on a certain point he was the best player outside of Korea, maybe even the world. Time where he won the ESWC, did very well at BlizzCon, won the European Championships as well. Very good Wacky 3 player.
Rich RTS history for those guys, as we see a pretty standard game unfolding here off that slightly non-standard opening out of Adel Scott. Still at third base, down for Vortex. He's just checking out his opponent, seeing exactly what's going on. A Stargate has just started. Did Vortex see it? No.
No,
oh,
but now
yes.
he will. I would cancel it and go 7 gate. I'm not kidding. I think that would be a great thing to do. Because I really think if you go Stargate and it's scouted this early on, you're going to have a hard time dealing a lot of damage.
It looks to me like Vortex is actually playing this kind of Korean ZVP style, which is stay on 2 bases for a longer time, focus on Roach Speedling, and then take your third a little bit later. We'll see if that's exactly how it pans out. He has not started Link Speed yet, but he's really just started mining on these gases. If he does that, I think 7-gate, Stargate, any really form of aggression is going to be pretty easily shut down.
Like pretty much almost every Zerg that I've played on NASL lately is that if they see I don't have a gateway down the ramp, or if they see I don't have my Force Fast Expand or Nexus first, they almost always take gas pretty much immediately. There are not many people who feel comfortable going 3 hatch before gas if they play against gateway first.
Now, a little bit of indecision out of Vortex. He had started Overlord Speed, then he cancels it. Now he's starting it again. I guess he just wants to have that flexibility to get the good scout. Roach Warren going down, Evo Chambers going down as well. Still 2 base for Vortex.
Adel did cancel the gate, by the way.
The Stargate, yeah.
Stargate.
And instead starts spinning a +1 upgrade. Has 2 extra gateways finishing up at the front. I haven't seen the
7-gate, man.
4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th gateway yet.
Or maybe let's go gateway expand.
No, Twilight Council.
Worker-wise, we showed that this the worker tab shows us that this is actually quite a close game right now. Only 45 drones against 38 probes. I think Adel is quite pleased with that, certainly considering the fact there is still no 3rd hatchery on the map.
Yeah.
Do you think we might see Roach drop?
It's a possibility. Certainly we're seeing that investment into Roaches, +1 on the way. 4 Roaches already being built. Overlord Scout with that Overlord speed sees the Forge, sees the Twilight Council.
And also, more importantly, sees that Stargate got cancelled.
With all that gas, do you think Adel Scout was thinking DTs?
What you gonna do with all that gas? Inside your tank. Charge being researched. Quick 3-base actually for Adel, so it doesn't seem to be the case, man.
And I don't think so either. Hydra Dan already down. We're going to see 2-base Roach Hydra. Okay, there's the third hatch.
How often do you see this? Protoss going up to 3-base before Zerg?
Yeah, never.
It's been a little while.
Absolutely
it's a pretty big
never.
supply block, by the way, that Adel just hit. He had to wait a full 25 seconds before he was able to reduce units again. So that definitely slowed him down a little bit.
I got to say, I feel like the position of Adel Scout's pretty nice, man. Economically, he's a little bit ahead. He's getting his Templar Archives already. He's going to have that charge upgrade. And he's going to be playing against Roach Hydra. And Storm is great against Roach Hydra.
That is definitely true. Templar Archives more than halfway down. Sorry, Ben, I was kind of zoned out. Like I was like daydreaming a little bit. I thought you were actually going to say more than one sentence, but you did not. But yes, I agree with you. Storm is great against Hydras, against Roaches. I am not too sure. Of course, he's going to have a lot of charcoals as well. Maybe that will eventually help out. But if the Roach Hydra has better upgrades than the Gateway units, it's going to be quite tough. Like, I am still kind of finding my way trying to make this kind of stuff work. But I'm curious to see if Ado's going to guide me the way.
I do like the way he's aggressively scouting with those hallucinated Phoenixes, keeping tabs on his opponent, making sure he knows everything that's going on. Hasn't seen the 3rd base, though, which could affect his decision-making pretty radically. Robo is finally going down. In my opinion, I think we're not going to see too many Colossi. It's probably just for observers initially. Worth
mentioning, very late Mothership Core here by Adel. Did not feel like he needed it before. Took it after 55 probes, so didn't want to interrupt his probe production. This is a very late Mothership Core. But it will still have enough energy for at least 1 Purifier by the time the first Roach Hydra poke comes. Taking a look at the drone count right now, 58 drones against 57 probes. I mean, economy-wise, Ado has been doing an absolutely fantastic job. I am still a little bit worried about the potential DPS in his army, man, because I think that,
before Storm, he's really lacking in a way to deal with these Hydras.
He does have charge.
Does have charge, and I'm not sure how that's going to translate here. It's a reasonable number of Zealots.
So, force fields going down, kind of random force fields.
Almost working against him a little bit. Oh, no, now this has gone badly. Okay, finally he's able to section off some units.
So far he hasn't killed a single unit yet, while losing quite a few. 1 sentry with a lot of energy goes down as well. I guess he's just waiting for Storm, buying time, and that's perhaps the right call. But this base is so exposed, there's not a single cannon there. 1 Storm does land.
Oh, and it's a great Storm, and a couple more followed up. Those Hydras are all very low. Time Warp goes down. That's going to translate to several dead Zerg units. There is damage being dealt up at that 3rd expansion.
I think this is awful for Adel Scout. Even if he might eventually stabilize, he's losing so much economy. He has no real army at all. I mean, Storms are great to soften up units, but if you have nothing to finish them off, what does it really do?
Yeah, there's no meat to the army. There is an Immortal out. That'll help against those Roaches, but so many probes have fallen. There's no mining being done at the 3rd at all. And Vortex has gone up to that healthy 70 drone economy that a Zerg player really wants to be working off of. All of a sudden, Adel's reasonable game has gone to the, well, it's gone really badly.
That 1 Immortal's being microed pretty well, but will fall immediately. A couple of very low HP Roaches, but doesn't really matter, man. What a super simple game here by Vortex, just very straightforward. We can really talk into it all we want, but at the end of the day, you could say that maybe Ado got a little too greedy, but also he just needs more actual units that can fight. Having Storm is great, but you also need something to finish off the units.
That's exactly right. As Natural is breached, that's going to be it, man. GG gets called. Vortex makes it 4-2.
Makes it look easy as well, taking a lead, an important lead here. So right now we have the chance that we are going to see someone being revived. I don't think you have to revive someone. So we could still see potentially Daishi being sent out, or
Jan Merlo.
Jan Merlo?
I think it's going to be 4GG though, man. It's all or nothing for Millennium. We have to assume that they really want this win, and I think we can all agree that 4GG is the strongest player on that roster. So.
Yeah, for the people who are unfamiliar with this tournament, this is the Acer TeamStory Cup. It's going to be a $20,000 online team league, which is obviously awesome. This is just the very first play day. Only 1 clan war has been played before this one, which was Mana. I keep saying that. It basically was Mana, but obviously it was Mouse Sports against
Mana
Quantic.
versus Quantic.
Or Mana versus Hian. Mouse Sports did manage to win that clan war with 5-4. This is the 2nd clan war. I believe tomorrow it's time for Acer against MVP. but I'm not sure about that. Actually, that's going to be like later tonight. It's somewhere in the middle of the night because it's going to be played in Korea.
So, guys, we're going to take a very short break. When we return, it could potentially be the final match of the day. If Millennium wants to do it, they have got to win 3 in a row. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.